Hi, folks. I've logged in a little early just in case I have some early birds. So just checking to see if we've got anybody logged in. This is our rescheduled Facebook Live all about ProStitcher catalog. So I'll be reviewing ProStitcher catalog, the features, how to use it, how to do some neat things with it. So we'll get started here in just a minute. Hi, Janet and Jean. Oh, good. We've got some people popping in here. Max. So I say it's Carolyn. Hi, Carolyn. Lots of people popping in now. Great. And Carolyn, you were in my class at Academy. Excellent. Good. I'm glad you had a good time. That was a fun Academy. All righty. Hi, Lori. Hi, Cheryl, all the way from Missouri. Hi, Sue. Sue Revere, one of my buddies. Got a lot of friends popping in here that I'm seeing. So glad you were able to all join during this rescheduled time. And I'm sorry about our last session. We just had some technical difficulties that we could not overcome. So we had to reschedule. Great. Let's see. Oh, Nancy, good. I'm glad you're here. Oh, all the way from Alberta, Linda. Great. My parents are Canadian. My mother was born and raised in Edmonton, Alberta. And I used to live in Vancouver. So excellent. Oh, and Annette, you're signing in from MSQ. Well, thank you. I feel very honored because that's an awesome show. A lot of people from Michigan. Yeah, a bunch of people from Michigan here. Excellent. Okay, well, let's get started. So I'm going to pull some things up here, and I'm going to try to peek into the comments here. It's hard when I have programs pulled up on my screen because I can't see your comments. So I am going to pull up my PowerPoint here. So let's talk about ProStitcher catalog, and I'm going to pop back out so I can see your comments. I just want to make sure you can see my PowerPoint. I would normally put this in presentation mode, but it makes it really hard to get back to other screens because it makes it full screen. So let me just make sure. I'm going to minimize this. And I want to know if you guys could see my PowerPoint. Could you see my PowerPoint? And I just want to make sure my head was small and not obscuring the view of my PowerPoint. Could you guys see it? Can someone comment and say, yes, we saw your PowerPoint? Well, I'll go ahead and pull it back up. Okay, can you guys all see my PowerPoint presentation? We can see it. Okay, great. I'll pull it back up. Fabuloso. Okay. So let's get started here with ProStitcher catalog. So what is ProStitcher catalog? It is a very robust cataloging software program and is for organizing computerized quilting designs and patterns. You could even organize embroidery designs. So it's any kind of a digital quilting embroidery design. It gives you the ability to quickly sort and find digital designs on your computer. And I just want to point out, it doesn't put them anywhere different. Wherever your designs are, that's where they are on your laptop's hard drive. It just gives you kind of an enhanced viewing of your designs. So it's very simple to use. You can add or edit notes to any of your designs, which allows you to search, because that's one of the search fields, is the notes field. You can also add keywords, and we'll talk a little bit about keywords and the wisdom of keywords a little later. And you can also give designs ratings, which I think is a really fabulous tool. And I'm going to talk about how you can really use that tool to your advantage. So you can actually rate every one of your designs, and that allows you to easily find the perfect design for your next quilting project. You can even customize how you organize and find designs with ProStitcher catalog. Again, it doesn't move anything around. It's your designs are where they are, wherever they are. So we're going to talk about not only how you can catalog and view and edit your designs that come with ProStitcher, but also purchase designs, because that's kind of important. There's a way that you can link your folder where you have saved your purchase designs so that catalog can see them, index them, and then allow you to make those kinds of great edits through catalog. Something that's kind of important is you do get free lifetime program updates, just like we do with ProStitcher Designer and ProStitcher Premium and Lite. So that's a real bonus. Now, if you have ProStitcher, speaking of ProStitcher Designer, if you have that already installed on your laptop or your tablet, when you install ProStitcher Catalog, it will install itself within Designer. It integrates into Designer. And that's what I'm going to show you today, because I have Designer installed on my laptop. So when I installed Catalog, it installed within Designer. But if you don't have ProStitcher Designer and you just want to purchase ProStitcher Catalog, it can be installed without ProStitcher Designer, and it can be a standalone program. So either way, you don't have to have Designer in order to purchase ProStitcher Catalog. You can have either one or both. When you purchase Catalog, it comes with 2 activations and installs, just like Designer. If you end up needing to unregister an activation, you can do that through the software, or you can always reach out to the support folks at ProStitcher.com to assist you. If you can't unregister, like if your computer just dies or crashes and you can't get to that install to unregister it, just reach out to the support folks at ProStitcher to assist you with that. All right, so let me go to our next slide. These are the stitch file formats that are searchable and that you can catalog with ProStitcher Catalog. So I have some that are highlighted because those are the ones that we're going to be more familiar with. For those of you that have ProStitcher Designer, the C2S, that is the native ProStitcher Designer designing or artwork file format. It'll say .c2s. Also, obviously, the ones we're concerned with for stitch file formats are HQF, HQV, HQA, which is an area file, and HQW, which you probably figure out is a workspace file. And then, of course, ProStitcher can also read, ProStitcher Premium and Lite can also read QLI files. So those are the ones that we're going to be obviously most concerned about. But as you can see, it has just about every other long-arming stitch file format and a whole bunch of embroidery file formats that you might recognize. So all of these are searchable through ProStitcher Catalog. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about navigation hierarchy. It's not unlike ProStitcher Premium, ProStitcher Designer. It's the same process. You can see we have tabs at the top, and every tab has its own toolbar ribbon. And when I said that it integrates in ProStitcher Designer, this is a new icon that gets added when you install Catalog, if you have Designer already installed, and it's the binoculars find, and that's how you know Catalog has been installed and integrated itself within Designer. Okay, so this is what I want to cover here. We're going to cover how to search for a design, how to add or edit notes, keywords, and ratings to a design. I'm going to talk about the default path, file path for the designs. And there's only one file path that Catalog uses, but not to worry. And it's your C:\\designs. It's where your designs folder should be residing. And if you have installed Designer, or if you're somebody who's installed ProStitcher Premium or Lite onto your laptop to use in simulation mode, and you've copied your designs folder to the C drive of your laptop, that's the file path. But not to fear, because I don't keep my purchased long arm designs in that folder or that file path. It actually lives in my documents folder, but I can create a link within that file path. So it will link back to where my long arm designs live on my hard drive. So it'll be able to see those designs so I can edit them, attach a keyword to them. So it's really a cool feature. For those of you that are computer savvy, it's a symbolic link. So that's the link I'm talking about. We have a design view, and also it allows us to print designs. So some of you would like to have like a printable catalog. It has that function in it as well. Okay, so one thing I want to talk about, when you actually launch Catalog for the very first time and you go to do your first search, you're going to get this little pop-up window. It only happens one time. And it's telling you this is your very first search, and the initializing is going to take a while. So when you click OK, that tells Catalog, go ahead and index all of the designs that you can find in that file path. That's that C:\designs folder. So it's a once and done process to index your designs, and then Catalog is ready to search for things. And I'm going to get back, and we're going to talk about this keywords here in just a second. But let me pull up Catalog now, because I want to show you how to use it. So the first thing I said we're going to talk about is how to search for a design. And again, on the Home tab, once I've installed Catalog, it will install this little Find button. And this little Find window, does a lot of things. It allows us to search by different methods. We can either search by a keyword, by notes, and most of our designs, believe it or not, have notes attached to them. Maybe you remember there's like butterfly in the name of the design. So you could search here in the name field using the word butterfly. There are other search modalities as well. We've got stitches, which may or may not be something you use. Colors definitely we're not going to use, because all of our designs are a single color. But this program came out of the machine embroidery world, so that's why we have that option. Width, maybe not one you'd use, but you might use height, because maybe you just want something that's within a certain height, even though we have the ability to resize anything, but that might be useful. And then we have date ranges, and then this little rating, we have a 5-star way to rate every design. I love this feature, and I'm going to talk about it later, but it allows you to search for designs that you've rated either you could do like 1 to 3 stars, only 1 star, maybe 5 stars, whatever it is, however you decide to use this rating system. I do want to point something out. If you notice here, this checkbox that is checked off, include all formats, the default selection when you first open Catalog, this is not checked off. So be sure to check it off. This allows you to search all stitch file formats. If you do not have this box checked, Catalog is only going to search for that native C2S designer digitizing / artwork file format. So always check this off and leave it checked off forevermore. You always want it checked off. So keywords. Let me see. I want to make sure I'm checking my notes here to make sure I haven't missed anything good for you. I've got that covered. Okay. All right, I'm reading my actual folder. Okay, so to open this, I want to show you another way to open it. If I hover over, you can see we get a keyboard command, Control F. So I can either click on this, or I can do a Control F on my keyboard. There, you see it? And it will pull up the find. So if there are shortcuts, if you hover your mouse over, if there's a shortcut, see, like Control plus N, that means hold the Control button down on your keyboard and then tap the N button, and that will give you a new screen. If you want to pull up your find, hold the Control button down and tap the F button on your keyboard. That's called a keyboard shortcut. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about keywords because we can search by keywords. So let me pull up my presentation again because I want to talk about the wisdom of using keywords. I want you to think about a list of keywords that makes sense to you and keep it limited. You don't want to go hog wild with a million keywords. You try to keep it between 50 and 60 at the most. And things, again, that might make sense to you. These are ones that make sense to me. And these are keywords that I use to organize my design. So E to E for your edge to edge designs, block, sashing, border, corner. Maybe like categories of designs: modern, ornate, kids, feather, music, nature, flowers, holiday, insects, patriotic. I know a lot of you do quilts of valor, so you might want to put a keyword patriotic to those designs you like to use on your quilts of valor quilts. Stars, whole cloths, those are just some suggestions. Going to warn you, be careful you spell your keyword correctly, because you could end up with two keywords that are really the same, but just different spellings. So be careful for that. If you're trying to figure out where you could find good suggestions for keywords, you can go to the larger digitizing websites out there. Urban Elements, Wasatch, and Bright, and they kind of have their designs broken up into categories, so that can give you some suggestions for your keywords. Not a bad idea to keep track of your keywords in a little Excel document, just so you know what you're using, just as sort of note to self. Okay, so let's go back and let's just actually try to search for a keyword here. So let me type in block. And I can either press enter in my keyboard or I can click find, and it's thinking. You can see it thinking through. It's going to look for all of my designs, and you can see over here in the designs window, this is that default file path I was talking about. And it's slow because I have a lot of stuff running and I'm streaming right now. So normally it's not this slow, but I went through all of my designs that are in this file path, which is C designs. And it found a total of 4 designs that have a keyword block in them. So for example, let's just double click and add this, and I'm going to close this off. And you can see that I added a keyword and put block in here. I did that with 4 of my designs so they would come up so you could see them. So when I searched by the keyword block, it pulled these up. And remember I talked about notes. Here's your notes section. And most of our designs do come with notes. And this is out of our Pro Stitcher built-in designs. And this is butterfly swirl. And if you look here, up here, this is the file path. This tells you where it lives on my C drive in the designs folder, in the subfolder 1-PS designs, subfolder blocks, and it is called butterfly.hqf. So real important to kind of look at all of this. Do want to point out something that's just something we should be respectful of. In the notes here, you can add or remove notes, but I do not recommend removing anything that's copyrighted, any of the copyright note. We just want to respect the digitizer's copyrights. So I don't recommend that you ever remove that. It's not going to get in your way, and it's just, out of respect for the digitizer. So speaking of notes, let's see, maybe we can add some interesting things here. And I'm going to do 2 different things. So with keywords, you can add more than one keyword to a design. So this is coming up as blocks, but maybe we might want to also add insects or butterfly. So I'm going to put a space, or I could put a comma. So you can separate your keywords either by a space or a comma. I'm just going to put butterfly. And in the notes, it already has the word butterfly. Okay. And maybe I also want to add insects. So I have 3 keywords. And in the notes, maybe I want to also add insects. Now I'm going to click the apply button, and it's very important that you see this pop up. See how it says save changes, yes, no? If you don't get this pop-up, try again. Your design should be deselected. If it's selected, you may not get this pop-up. So to deselect this design, and remember, if it's selected, it's going to have that marquee box around it. If it looks like that, then just click in the workspace background and that will deselect the design. Then you can add your additional keywords, any additional notes, click apply, and then save changes. Okay. So let's see if this worked. So I'm going to click on this design to select it. There you see my marquee box, and I'm just going to delete it out. Now I'm going to click find again, and I still have all my find results in 4 here and keyword block. I don't want any of this in here. So I'm going to click my 3 little dots and clear my filters. And also I want you to see, here's your keyword list. If you ever want to see your keyword list, this is where you would see it. So if I click on this, these are all the keywords. I just take a photo with my iPhone, or you can take a screen snip, and then you can add that into a spreadsheet if you want. So these are all the keywords that I have right now. Okay. So let's do another search. Let's try keyword butterfly, because I added that in. Click. Oh, there it is. Here's my results here, and here's my one. Okay, so let's clear that again. And then I added insects and notes. So let's try, see how many designs. Only one, same one. So that works. So I'm going to pop back into you all and just take a quick hot pause and see if anybody has any questions. Oh no, hope I'm not frozen. Am I frozen? Okay, am I still frozen or no? Susan, can y'all see me? I've got my screen up. Let me put my head back. Okay, here I am. Okay, can y'all see me or am I frozen? We can see you. Thanks, Andy. All righty, excellent, good. Okay, hopefully it didn't freeze. Not frozen. Good. Okay, goodness. I tell you, we live and die by technology, don't we? We all know that better than we want to sometimes. Okay, so any questions about searching by keywords, searching by notes, how to add a keyword, how to add a note? Any questions so far? Because I don't want to get too far ahead, if people are feeling a little lost. You know how to click on the binoculars or Control F to pull up your find. Okay. So I'm going to flip my notes and keep going here. All righty. I think I've covered everything. Width and height, state, include all formats. We've talked about that. Sorry, I'm talking to myself and reviewing my notes because I don't want to miss anything. We've talked about copyrights. Okay, so I am going to, how do you add print preview to toolbar? I do not believe that you can adjust the toolbar on this. And I'm not sure we have a print preview option. Is the find icon available to click on if you have it? If you've installed Catalog, yes, it's there. It comes with Catalog. It is Catalog in Designer. That is Catalog. Okay. I'm able to pull up the screen you had up a bit ago. That's all I need. Okay, good, Karen. All righty. How can I confirm I have Catalog? Glad you asked that question. Here's how. Okay. Let me pull up Designer. So the question was, let me close out of this. How can you confirm if you have actually purchased Catalog? Because sometimes, we buy so much, we don't know what we bought. Maybe the dealer offered us some specials. So we said, yeah, sounds great. I'll figure it out later. Okay. Do you see these tabs down here at the bottom? This is our sequence. And this, because I'm in Designer. This is my sequence, which I have nothing here, so my sequence would be empty. These are my designs, which is the tab I'm currently on. It's a little hard to tell, but this is the highlighted tab. It's slightly paler than the other 5 tabs. special effects. So this is my navigator, and this shopping cart, this tells me what I've purchased. So if I click on the shopping cart, it's going to tell me two things. It's going to tell me what I've bought, designer and catalog, and see that check mark? That means it has been registered and it's fully functional. So you can install designer, and I'll have to look to see if you can also install catalog. I don't think so. I think you have to actually purchase it. But designer, anybody can go to prostitcher.com and to the software section, download designer and install it and use it in demo mode. And you can use all the tools and functions. The only things you can't do are save and send. So this tells me I'm fully registered, fully functional. So that tells me how I know what I've bought. So it's the shopping cart down there. So let me minimize this. All righty. Cannot see your screen. Cannot see your screen. Only, oh my gosh. My bad, guys. Sorry. Let's do that again. All right. That's what happens when you make your head big. It makes your head big. Okay, here we go. So this is normally where we sit when we're using catalog. Remember, the fine binoculars means you have catalog installed and embedded or integrated within Designer, because I have Designer. This is ProStitcher Designer, that's up. So that is our Designs tab, and this is the file path I talked about, the default file path. To see what you've purchased, if you click on the shopping cart, that's going to tell you what you've bought. And you can see two things here. You can see what I have installed. I have ProStitcher Designer installed and Catalog installed. And importantly, these checkboxes, that means I have registered ProStitcher Designer and Catalog, and they are both fully functional. All right. Yeah, Lisa, I know. I was getting a big head there in more ways than one. So I'm still new to StreamYard, and we talk about the learning curve all the time. And what I preach is practice, practice, practice. You'll get through the learning curve faster. So this is my 4th time in StreamYard. I'm used to Teams and Zoom. StreamYard's a more robust streaming and meeting software platform, so I'm still learning it. So I'm right there with you in the learning curve, folks. Okay, so does that make sense? And who was the person that was asking about what they had bought? I'm scrolling back through. Okay, I just want to make sure that what is the cost of catalog? It's about $149, $150. It's very reasonable. It's one of the most reasonably priced cataloging programs out there. And, it's designed to work with the programs you have. Okay, so does catalog work with Art and Stitch? Nope, it does not integrate into Art and Stitch. It would, Lisa, it would be its own standalone program. So not in that sense that it integrates itself into a program. No. So if you have Art and Stitch and you buy catalog, they would be 2 separate programs. But I'm going to show you how to link your purchase designs, because we all go out there eventually and start buying other designs. So we have more designs to use than what came with ProStitcher Premium or ProStitcher Lite. And I don't have those designs saved in my C Designs file path. I have them saved somewhere else in my computer. Kathy, yes, all of our Facebook Lives are always recorded. They'll be on our ProStitcher Facebook page for about 2 weeks, and then they live forever on the ProStitcher YouTube channel. So sorry. Okay. If you haven't assigned any keywords, then notes is the way to find correct, or name. So if you have an idea like, okay, I think I want a butterfly design, pretty sure butterfly is in the name of the design, so you could try searching by name. Okay, so, okay, you're on vacation, Robin. You'll check when you get home. Okay, great. Oh, Sue, am I frozen again? I sure hope not. And I have everything shut down pretty much. All right, so let's go back and let's talk about, I want to talk about multiple searches. So if you search by keyword and notes, you're narrowing down your search. So it may or may not be advantageous for you. If you just want to capture everything, use only one field. Either use just keywords or just notes or just names. In the world of computer searches, if you use multiple fields, that would be considered a Boolean search, which means you're putting an and in between. Like I want to search for butterflies and notes that say insects and a name that says butterfly. So you may only get one or two designs instead of maybe like, let me just try to show you. Let's use block and then let's try butterfly and then search. Okay, if you remember, I had 4 block designs, but I only have one block design that is named butterfly. So that's that Boolean search that put an and between these two. And it says, okay, you only have one design that has a keyword of block and a name that has butterfly in it. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's clear that. All right, so one thing I wanted to look, let's see, I think I've showed you some really important things. One thing I do want to show you, let's search in just a folder. And you can select, right now, I'm searching everything that's in this file path. So you can narrow it down by selecting a folder. So let's say I select the Darlene at folder, and I'm going to look for something within her folder. And let's see if I find feather flower filler. Okay, so I'm going to look for this design here. Let's type, I know it has feather in the name in the Darlene at folder. And so if I search feather flower filler is what I'm looking for. So she has several, and I'm looking for the feather flower filler. And it's alphabetical, so I'm looking for it. Here, feather. I know what it looks like, so when I see it, it should come up here. There it is. Feather flower filler. So I'm going to double click on this. There we go, to load it to my workspace. And let's say I want to add a really important note. This happens to have no overstitching. This starts here and makes a single line all the way around. There's 0 overstitching. For a fill design, that's really nice. So I'm just going to add, I'm in my notes section. I clicked into my notes section. I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to type in here, no overstitching. And then I'm going to click apply, and I have my save changes and type yes. So this is something that you can use as opposed to keywords. I mean, you could make a no overstitching keywords. Absolutely do that. Or you can search by notes. I just wanted to show you that that's a nice way if you're looking just for something really special. This is an important thing to me, might be important to you, and you can decide whether you want to use your notes field or create a keyword that's no overstitching. All right. Let me go to ratings. I want to talk about this wonderful tagging function that we have in Catalog. I think we tend to think of this as like 1 to 5 stars, like my most favorite designs, my most popular designs might be 5 stars, or maybe ones that we've used, I like them and they're not so good. You can decide how you want to use these stars. Let me give you a couple of recommendations. For those of you that quilt for others, and if you've got a tiered pricing system, so let's say you do all over edge to edge work, and you've got your edge to edge designs grouped into 3 categories. Low stitch count, medium stitch count, high stitch count, because you want to assign a different price to each of those because they take longer. So Many of you have done that. So you can use these stars in that way. You could use 1 star for your low stitch count designs, 2 stars for your medium, 3 stars for your high stitch count. And then you can decide what you want to use 4 and 5 stars for. They don't have to be from worst to best. They can be whatever you want them to be. So this is a very nice way to kind of rank your designs. Okay, so let me clear this. I'm going to click on it, touch delete on my keyboard. And now the really important thing is, how do I'm just searching my designs that are from ProStitcher, because I copied and pasted my designs folder from my ProStitcher Premium flash drive onto the C drive of my laptop. So all my designs from my tablet are now on my laptop, so I can use them in simulation mode and also for Catalog and Designer. But this doesn't have my purchase designs. So how do we get those to be seen by Catalog? And here's how we do it. We're going to create a link in the designs folder. So I'm going to left click and select, and I'm going to show you where all this information is. Everything I'm sharing with you, it's all somewhere. So yes, you can watch the video again, but I'm going to give you some other resources. And that's the beauty of this. Our ProStitcher catalog manual is very self-explanatory. And this is where I got all the information from. It's how I taught myself to use catalog. So to create a link, symlink, symbolic link for our computer savvy folks, I want to tell Catalog to create the link in the designs folder because that's the default file path. So my link has to be in this folder. And so I'm going to right click with my mouse and I'm going to select new link. And this is true total live. This is a brand new computer. My computer died a couple weeks ago. So now I'm starting all over again and I need to link where I have my folders, my designs. And I keep my purchase designs in my documents folder. I do that for a reason, because my backup program automatically backs up my documents folder. So, and I recommend you all have a backup program that runs at least once a day. Mine runs continuously. So let me scroll down to where I have it hidden, buried. Because I'm an old-time computer user, I have a long arm quilting folder, and within that, I have my long arm designs folder. So it's kind of buried. The file path is documents, long arm quilting, long arm designs. This is where all of my purchase designs live. It's where I save them to. And in this folder are a whole bunch of subfolders named by digitizing companies. So I'll have ProStitcher, I have Ann Bright, I have Wasatch, I have Urban Elements, etc. So there's probably 20 subfolders in here. So I'm going to select that and I'm going to click on select folder and I want to make the change. And now I have a new link. So we're going to give it a name. And I am going to take advantage of how Windows alphabetizes things. And as you know, obviously you can see here how it alphabetizes things. Obviously A to Z, but it puts numbers ahead of letters. And if you didn't know this, the thing that comes in front of numbers for Windows alphabetizing are characters. So if I right click on this and I rename the link, and then I'm going to just start typing and I'm going to put a character, an asterisk, long arm designs. Here we go. And then I'm just going to click off of it. And let's see if it did it. It might have, oh, new link. Okay, let's try that again. Don't you love it live? Yeah, it is. I want to make sure it is. It is. So let's do this. Rename link. Maybe I didn't press enter. There you go. long arm designs, enter. There we go. Okay, hopefully it will. What I'm trying to do is get it to float up to the top here. And I'm looking for it. It's still saying, it's still alphabetizing it here as new link. And why it's not remembering the name, I'm not sure. Let me see if I'm following my own instructions correctly. Link, rename, select rename link. Okay, I will get back to you and find out why it's not renaming itself, because those are all of my purchase designs for sure. Maybe it doesn't like an asterisk. So let's just do, maybe it doesn't like it. 001 long arm book designs. Could be that. Okay, mystery solved. It will not accept a character. Now you can do that in File Explorer in Windows, but apparently not in Catalog. So what I'm trying to do is name it so that it is going to float to the very top of all of my designs in my designs folder. So now I know, there we go. If I collapse it, see this has a plus sign. If I click on the plus sign, it will expand it. These are all my purchase design subfolders. If I click on it on the minus sign, I can collapse it. And now you can see here all my subfolders that are in my Pro Stitcher Premium designs folder. So it just makes it easier for me to know that this top folder are my purchase designs. Anything below that are designs that came with Pro Stitcher. All right. Don't you just love it when you have to problem solve live on the air? What can I say about that? Okay, let me stop here. Okay, was briefly frozen. Thanks, Elaine. Okay. All right. Anybody have any? Can you check stitch count from catalog? Janet, you can search by stitch count. Yes, you can search by stitch count, but you would have to kind of know what the stitch count is, and you can put a range on your stitch count, and then it'll pull up all designs within that stitch count range. Okay, so any questions about how to add a link? Because that's probably the biggest question and the biggest stumbling block. But again, if you name it, you have to either use numbers or letters. And if you put a number in front of your folder name, it's going to float to the top. So just make it a number that's smaller than 1. So like 01. Okay. Can you change a drive letter? Becky, no, you cannot. When I talk about that default file path, you cannot change that default file path. Catalog is only going to look in one place, in one file path, and that is your C:\designs folder. It will not look anywhere else. That's why you have to create a link, a symlink in that designs folder to tell Pro Stitcher or to tell Catalog, hey, look here. I have a whole bunch of other designs that are in my documents folder. So I'm going to create a link to tell you to go look back in my documents folder. So now I can get to all of my purchase designs, add keywords, it makes it searchable, and all of that. So I hope that makes sense. So it's not changing a drive letter, and you won't want to change a drive letter. It just is a symbolic link back to where I keep my designs. Okay. I think I've covered just about everything here, except for printing up catalogs, how to print up a catalog. So let's pull catalog back up. Here we go. Okay, so one of the nice things that we can do, here's your print preview. And somebody asked me about print preview. It should be on here, but let me look and see on my PowerPoint presentation. I believe I have a screen here. Okay, I believe I pulled this little screen snip out of the Pro Stitcher catalog manual. And I believe this is what catalog would look like if it were a standalone program installed on your laptop, if you didn't have Designer. And print preview, They're little, but I don't see a print preview icon there. And I do not believe you can modify the ribbon like you can in other Windows-based programs where you can add icons to a toolbar. Because you can see this is what my screen looks like, and there is print preview on the home tab. And if I pull up, there we go. If I pull up ProStitcher Designer with catalog in it, I do have a print preview. But I'm not sure if that is going to work with catalog. I do not believe it does. So here is how you want to print a catalog of designs. Oh, there's print preview. It's interesting. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Well, let's do print. Let's back up, and I'm going to follow my own designs. So we go to the File tab. Here we go. Sorry. Print catalog is what we want. So let me repeat that. We're going to go to File. It'll give you a drop-down menu, and you want to select Print Catalog. I've only done this a couple of times, so again, practice, practice, practice. It's how we remember things. So we're going to click on that, and then you can see this is the Browse button. Just so you know, anytime you see a button with 3 little dots, that means Browse in the computer world. I don't want to print up, let's see which designs do. Oh, it is actually Anita Shackelford. But for our demo, I want to use hers because it's not got too many. And this is something I've requested, is it would be really nice to see how many designs are in here. It's not showing any, which I think is hard. But you can browse to anywhere on your computer. I happen to be in my design folder on the C drive, but if I don't want to be there, I can go to my documents and go back to where I keep my purchased designs. As I showed you, they're kind of buried. Long arm quilting and then long arm designs. And maybe I want to print up my Anita Shackelford designs, and I could do it here. Okay. But that's not where I want to go. I'm going to actually, I will use this. So I've browsed to my documents folder, long arm quilting, long arm designs, and the subfolder of Anita Shackelford. I'm going to select this folder. And now it's going to give me some options. If it's telling me there are 5 designs in this folder. If there were subfolders, I know there's not. But if there were, you can include subfolders if you want. You can say how many columns you want. I find 2 columns makes the design images big enough for my old eyes to see well. I do recommend you print the folder path because that tells you it's going to print this here, this file path for you, so you know where they were. I don't find print date is helpful, but you might, if you're doing this, you quilt for others, and you want to know how old your printed catalog is, you might want to put print date on there. And that tells you, okay, I printed this back a month ago, but you know what? I bought some more designs from her. So I might want to reprint this and put it in my binder for my customers. And then print page numbers for sure. So I'm going to click OK. And now it's going to go back. It's going to print a catalog, and you can change the name. See how it's highlighted? So I could put in here Anita Shackelford catalog if I wanted. Or I could go somewhere else. Doesn't have to be this file path. I can go anywhere I want. This is just like I could create a folder somewhere on my computer that says long arm catalogs. But it's going to put it by default back into the folder that you've selected. I'm going to just leave that. And you can see I did it before. So I've changed the name. So I'm going to click save, and it's going to save it there. And then it's going to bring it up for me as a PDF. And so you can see here's the file path. Here's the date I printed it. And then 2 columns of designs. Okay. That's how you print up a catalog. And so you would do it, I would do it folder by folder. And you can set those folders up any way you want. If you want to put all of your designs that you use for your customers in one folder on your computer, you can copy and paste designs. and put them in that single folder, and then just use that folder, and you can title maybe that folder customer folder, whatever is easy for you to recognize. But that's how you print up a catalog. So let me go ahead and make my head big again. I don't think I'm going to be going back, but I'll remember to unbig myself here if I have to go back. Any questions? Lori says, I bought Designer years ago, haven't used it at all. If you have catalog and find a design, does it bring it into premium automatically? Nope, it doesn't. It just brings it into Designer. But do you know, okay, not going to make myself little. So if you do that and you bring it into, and you open it up into Designer, so let's just do that. We're going to use, I don't want to use this, so let's clear my filters. Keywords, let's use name butterfly, I just want one. Fly, enter. It's thinking. A lot of bandwidth here. Sorry it's taken so long. Shouldn't take this long, but I have some other programs running, so not responding. Okay. Every once in a while this will happen and you'll crash Designer, but we can certainly close the program and reopen it. Not a problem. All right, let's go reopen it. Yes, Lisa, catalog does not need Designer. Let's try this again. Find. We'll try keyword butterfly. And then click find. And I may be maxing out my resources for some reason. I don't think I have a lot of stuff online right now, but I am definitely crashing. I'm definitely crashing it. Dang it. Okay, let's just try one more time, and I'm going to pretend that I searched for something just so you can see this. Go back to my designs, and I'm just going to pull out a design. Okay, so let's say I searched and I found this design, and I want, and in my search, this was the design I wanted. I'm going to select it, marquee box. Do you see this send button? If I click on send, it's going to send that design to ProStitcher. So if I open up ProStitcher, there it is. That's how you get a design. Now, I don't know if Catalog Standalone will do that. I don't have Catalog installed as a standalone program. I have it installed and integrated within Designer. So Designer and ProStitcher Lite and ProStitcher Premium have the send function where you can send designs back and forth between the two programs. Okay, so let's see here. All right. Okay, it looks like you're open several times. Oh, I'm sorry, Michelle. I know you get it. It gets that look. That's why I try to make my head big here. Okay, Lori, that makes sense. Good. All right. So Catalog takes designs into ProStitcher Lite. No. Catalog will search for designs, and if you have Designer installed and Catalog integrated within Designer, you can use the send function, Vicki, to send that design that you have searched and found and loaded to your workspace, and you can send it over to Lite. Okay. So I don't have a Find Binoculars tab. What am I missing? You're missing Catalog. If you're opening up ProStitcher Designer, Cindy, if you go to the bottom and click on the shopping cart tab I showed you, you can see what you've purchased and what you've activated. Purchased will show as a list. Let me show you that again. Good question. So if you go here to the shopping cart, this is what you have actually installed. I shouldn't say purchased. This shows you what's installed either on your laptop or tablet, and this shows you if they're activated and fully functioning. If these are not checked off, then that send function won't work. So again, remember I said anybody can download Designer. There is a download button on ProStitcher.com. In fact, I will show you that. Okay. So if we go to ProStitcher.com and I go to software, and I go to Designer and I scroll down. Did I make my head small? I can't remember. Hold on a hot second. Let me make sure I did. Okay. If you scroll down, see the download button? You can download Designer and install it. It will just work in demo mode if you haven't purchased it. If you've purchased it, go ahead and download it, install it, and then you register it and enter the serial number, and then it's fully functional for you. Okay. How do I get it on my tablet if I'm not connected to the internet with my tablet? Tracy asks. With a flash drive, and that is an excellent question, and I can show you where you can find those instructions. Whoop. Okay, so Tracy, if you go to ProStitcher software, ProStitcher Designer, scroll down a little bit, you'll see a series of instructions here. How to install ProStitcher Designer offline, i.e. on your ProStitcher tablet. Tell you how to do that. And I also believe there is a video on how to do that here. If you go to ProStitcher, I did that really fast, learn ProStitcher Designer Education, installation with internet, and I think there's one without internet. Let me see, I'm trying to find it. Here it is, installation on a tablet demo mode. Okay, so this is how to install it, and they show you how to register it correctly. So, did I answer your question, Tracy? Can we download catalog and play with it? Don't know. Let's see. Let's go to purchase. No, software, excuse me, catalog. I want to say no. Nope, you cannot. You can only buy catalog. Okay, so it is different than Designer, which allows you to download Designer and play with it in demo mode. Good question. So Vicki, I answered your question there. All right. Resources. Let me go back to my PowerPoint and make sure that I have covered everything for you. We've covered all of those. We talked about that. Keywords we talked about. All righty. All right, I wanted to get this on screen, so it's in the recording. These are some educational resources, and I'm going to take you here. Again, if you go to ProStitcher.com, learn ProStitcher catalog. So let's see where that is. Okay, so we go to ProStitcher homepage, go to Learn, go to Catalog, and there's only one video. It's the Getting Started, and then there are some very helpful PDF downloadable tutorial links. So if you click on any of these, they'll open up as a PDF. You can print them off, you can save them. And everything I've talked about, and Tracy, again, you're talking about with and without an internet connection. Here they are. I don't have catalog installed on my ProStitcher tablet because I'm pretty good navigating all the designs. I never save any purchased designs to my tablet, ever. There's no need to do that. If I were ever to sell my system, I'd have to go and delete them all, which is kind of a pain. I save all of my files to my laptop, and then I just copy them and paste them to a flash drive and take them to my tablet to use. And then when I'm done, I just take that flash drive back to my laptop and I delete any of those copied files. They're not originals, they're copies. My originals live on my laptop's hard drive in a folder that gets backed up regularly. Okay. So that's one of the resources. And then this is an excellent document, and I want to show you how to get to this one. It's this one right here. It's the manual, and also this too. This is a really good video here. It's on our ProStitcher YouTube channel. It's called ProStitcher Catalog, Find, Rate, and Catalog Your Quilting Designs. That was the first thing I watched. I watched that when I bought Catalog, and then I downloaded the manual. And this particular link, and I'm going to show it to you. Let's get back to our ProStitcher page, and then let's go to Software, Catalog, and sorry. Yep. Okay. These documents are extremely helpful. I believe it's this one. How to install. I'm going to open it as a new tab. Okay, that's the one. How to install PS Catalog if PS Designer is installed. It's actually either or. And this is extremely helpful. This document that I clicked on, it's going to tell you how to register and install, how to install and register ProStitcher Catalog if you have Designer installed or if you don't. If you don't have ProStitcher Designer installed on your computer, skip ahead to page 3. So you can go to page 3 and you follow these instructions only if you do not have Designer installed on your computer. So I liked this document. It was really helpful. It tells you how to install it with or without Designer, how to register it. It was just very, very helpful. So it's a very thorough document. You're welcome to download all of these, print them off, and this will help you learn how to use Catalog. Everything I covered with you today, it's all in here. And those videos are very helpful. Again, remember ProStitcher, Learn, Catalog, Getting Started. There's also a catalog. Boop, boop, boop. Let's see. If I go to YouTube and we go to ProStitcher, there is some videos on, not a lot, because it's a very simple program, so you really don't need a lot. But let's see, where's my ProStitcher? Oh, it's at the top because I'm live. So that particular video is called ProStitcher Catalog. I'm going to control copy. And I'm going to paste it into the search field and enter. And let's see. It may not search for me because I'm live right now, but that, if you search by this, it will come up with the ProStitcher catalog video, which is very helpful. Okay, so let's get back here, back to my big head. Okay, and then I think I've covered everything. Let me see. So you don't use Catalog. I use my embroidery catalog. I do use Catalog. I also have another cataloging program that I purchased before Catalog was even invented. But if you don't have any kind of cataloging program, I highly recommend ProStitcher Catalog because It is a sister program to the programs we have. So the navigation is very similar. If you have Designer, it just installs itself right into Designer. It becomes those binoculars. And that is Catalog and the Find. That's how you get the Find pop-up screen to come up. Can I purchase designs by PS Connect without Design or Catalog? Of course, Robin, you absolutely can. You can purchase them. You can download them. You can purchase them if you have PS Connect software version installed on your tablet. You can actually connect directly to ProStitcher.com, purchase and download designs directly to your tablet, or you can do it the old-fashioned way, like we always have done. You can access ProStitcher.com on your laptop, purchase any designs, download them, and save them to your laptop, copy them, paste them to a flash drive, and walk that flash drive over to your machine, plug it in, load the design. All right. Good. Thank you, Tracy. Okay, let's see if I want to see if there's any other questions I have. It makes sense. Yeah, nothing to play with in Catalog. Correct, Vicki. Either you have it or you don't. I think I've covered all the questions. And don't worry, yeah, Vicki, you can rewatch. It keeps the stuff on the laptop organized. It presents an interface for you. It's actually a viewing method. So it doesn't really move things around or change the file path. Your designs are where they are on your hard drive. It just allows you to see them and view them in a different way than maybe File Explorer. So does it open zip files? I don't think so. It's looking at stitch files. So it's not even going to show you a zip file. How can I find my serial number for Catalog? It should be when you purchased Catalog, it will be in that receipt. So you would have gotten it in an email. Or if you purchased Catalog when you purchased your whole system from your retailer, it should be on your paper receipt. Or if you got an emailed receipt, it will be there. You can always call your retailer, or you can reach out to ProStitcher. Just send an email to support@prostitcher.com. Say, hey, I think I bought Catalog. I don't have my serial number. They'll check for you. Okay, very good. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Very kind. But it remembers where the designs are on the hard drive. Yes, Vicki, it does. Once you create that link, you put that SIM link in, it always knows to go to that folder and write down where you are saving your designs so you don't forget where they are. It should be in a very logical place. If you're purchasing designs, I recommend you just create a folder in your documents folder that says long arm quilting designs. Doesn't have to be fancy. And inside that folder, you can create a whole series of subfolders. And each subfolder can be by digitizer or by company. And that's going to be your link. So you guys are welcome. If you have Catalog questions, then you can always go to ProStitcher Quilters Facebook group, post a question, tag me. People always want to know, how do I tag you? Okay, Facebook has been persnickety about tags. Here's how you tag somebody. Let's see if it's going to work. At Patricia. There I am. I just started typing my name. It's going to be all one word. It's going to pull up anybody who is a group member with the name Patricia, and I'm right here. So if you click on me, see how it turns my name blue? I have a question about Catalog. Okay, see how my name is hyperlinked in blue? That tags me. So when you post your question, I get a notification in my notification list. Okay. And I bet nobody saw any of that because I made my head big. Oh, Lisa. Let's try that again. Okay. Here's how you link me. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Here's how you do a hyperlink for somebody. If you want to link to somebody and you want them to get a notification, just put an @ and start typing their name. So anybody who has a first name of Patricia that belongs to ProStitcher Quilters is going to show up, and here I am. Click on me. I'm hyperlinked. This will send a notification to my little bell saying, Patty, somebody is tagging you. And then you can just type your question. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. And you can see it keeps trying to hyperlink things based on the words you type. Okay. Sorry about that. Getting a big head. It's easy to do. Okay. Is there a video on how to use simulator from start to finish? I wouldn't say start to finish. There are videos on ProStitcher YouTube channel. Just type simulation and there will be a ProStitcher simulation video that comes up and it shows you how to install ProStitcher Lighter Premium onto your laptop to use in simulation mode. If you have any more questions about that, specifically, Linda, post on the ProStitcher Quilters Facebook page. Tag me like I just showed you. Ask me specifically what you want to know. I will answer you. All right. So yes, Vicki, you need to unzip your files. So sorry about that. You do need to unzip your files. They need to be single stitch files for catalog to see them. And because it has to have that file extension. And .zip is not one of them. So, okay, let's see. Does my dealer have a discount code? Don't know. Check with your dealer, Vicki. Any other questions before we bug out of here, guys? We're a little early. Likes, fries with that. I told you how to get to your serial number. Tracy, you're very welcome. Okay, I think I've caught everything. You're welcome, Lisa. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and we are going to wrap it up. And thanks for joining me. I really appreciate that y'all came with this rescheduled ProStitcher catalog. It is funny that I have such a problem with my big head. But again, I'm in the learning curve. And I appreciate you guys and your patience and letting me know that you're still seeing my big head. And I encourage you, if you don't have a cataloging program, get ProStitcher catalog at $150. It's a deal. And it will either integrate into Designer if you already have that installed. You get 2 installations and activations, so you can put it on your tablet if you want, definitely on your laptop. And if you need help, you've got, you know where all the resources are. And you can always tag me and ask. You can rewatch this video. It's all there. So you guys, see ya. You have a great quilty day. Love y'all. See ya on the Facebook pages.